Hi, Casey team. Hope you are doing well. I know we just met this past Monday, but the team's been hard at work and we already have a bunch of new and exciting feature updates for you. We just pushed a release today, so today's Saturday, April 29th, and so these features are already live in production for you. I'm going to do a quick video here, just walking you through some of the new features that we released. So the first one to make mention of is the reply to functionality with emails themselves. So previously, when emails were coming out for signature, you would get a document and the from address would say, no reply at click contracts. The email itself is still coming from reply to at click contracts, but you'll notice we put an email alias on that, which will be your name. So anytime you're sending out an offer, at least from to address will look like it's coming from you. And the user, if they click reply to on that particular email, is going to reply to your address as well. So those are two nice enhancements that we made with respect to the email functionality. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions on those. One of the other features that we added that I know was highly requested is the clone document feature. And so what you'll see now, anytime you go into an envelope, so if I'm in, my dashboard here, I can click on any of these envelopes. I'm going to see an option here to clone the document. If I choose this clone document option, it's going to take all of my content from my previous document and essentially just move it right into the form. And as you can see here, this is just a buyer's agency, but it's auto-filled the buyer name and buyer email and all of that content for me. So the clone documents should be ready to go. There's probably two important caveats to mention when it comes to clone documents. If you have an attachment to that document, we will move that attachment over when you clone, so long as it's not a completed envelope. If the envelope was completed and fully signed by all parties, then if you clone that envelope, the documents that you attached will not be brought over automatically, and that's by design. Because the assumption is, of course, that you've completed that one and that you would want to add new attachments if you clone that envelope. So that's kind of one important caveat. The other important caveat is if you have drafts on your dashboard today, sorry, let me go. If you have any drafts on your dashboard here today and you attempt to clone them, if there's file attachments with those documents, there might be some issues. So I'd recommend with this release just cleaning out any of the drafts that you had in here, and removing drafts are easy. You can just click on the draft and click delete drafts to remove those from your dashboard. So those are just two important caveats: file transfer with completed documents versus file transfer when you're cloning with a document that's in process. So those are kind of two big updates: email reply to functionality and the cloning of envelopes here in the platform. One of the other updates that we made that we think is a nice enhancement, if I step into the form here, is on the email, or I'm sorry, on the attachments within the document. If you had an attachment, let's say here, before there was no option to remove that attachment. So effectively, there was just an upload button here. We've made replacing more clear, and we've also added this remove button here. So now you can remove any documents if you attach them to the form. And that's just kind of nice if you accidentally upload a document. And then the last kind of big enhancements for this release is time zones. And so one of the things that we did, clear this draft out here, one of the things that we did and heard of from some of the users was that time zones were an issue. And so what we've done is we've taken, if you look at like these last change times here, we've changed that and made that device specific. So if you're ever traveling, if you're in a different state, or you're out of the country, or your users are in a different state or out of the country, I'm just going to change my time zone to kind of mimic this behavior here. We'll choose a time zone. Say I'm in Australia today. I didn't update that. Now you'll see if I refresh my page here, these time zones automatically update for that change. What's nice about that as well is if there's any signatures that are happening, say your client is out of the country, or you're, I don't know, in Hawaii on vacation or something like that, effectively, when you sign a document, we're going to sign based off of the time zone on that device. And so we'll automatically detect that time zone and use that to place on the document. And that should avoid any issues with offers issued with incorrect dates, or essentially signatures being placed on there with incorrect dates based on when people are in the central time zone versus in other various time zones around the world. So that's a second update and enhancement that was in this release as well. And again, the specifics there are the time zone is related to the device. So, if you essentially had a time zone that wasn't being set automatically by the device, or you were in a different time zone and you purposefully didn't have the set automatic time zone functionality on there, then it's not going to be able to pick that up. And so you can see I changed it back here. If I refresh, then it's essentially goes back to the correct central time zone. So just a couple of quick notes on that. And that's it for this release. I know Bonnie's got a video coming for you as well on some of the updates that we made to the form with some of the enhancements there. But really appreciate everybody using Click, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thanks so much.
Hi, Casey team. Today I'm going to talk you through some of the forms and document changes that we've made this past week. So number one, we updated the language for the question, does the city require an inspection? So basically we added additional cities in the Twin Cities metro area that do require a city inspection. In the future, we'll make this look a little bit nicer, but for now we wanted you to have this information as you're writing offers. In addition to that, we also added language and questions for logic for this question. So now if you click yes, the city does require inspection, you have the next question that pops up that says, has the settler been issued a certificate of compliance from the city? And if you click yes, you're able to upload the certificate there. If you click no, now you're asked the question, who will be responsible for for repairs required by the city? And then from there, we also updated additional inspection clauses. So we were notified that the language for the pass-fail inspection when you check this box was incorrect, and indeed it was. So we went ahead and fixed that. And then in addition to that, we added the add inspection guarantee clause as an option to select as well. So now I'm going to bring you to the section where we can actually look at that language. And documents. So now you can see here in this section that the inspector will be performed on a pass-fail basis. Buyer will not ask for additional for any seller repairs or concessions as a result of the buyer inspection. So when you check that pass-fail box, that's going to pop up now. And then as well as the inspection guarantee. So the buyers agree and assume whatever amount that you had put in for the inspection guarantee, that question pops up. It fills that in there for you in repair costs resulting from buyer's inspection and resulting contractor estimates. So that language gets added now as well. And then lastly, we had an update to the listing contract effective date. So we were notified that the listing contract's date was defaulting to the day after instead of today's date. And so basically it was a time zone issue that Parker had mentioned in his video. And so we were able to update that and get it fixed. And that really much wraps it up for this week's updates. We'll see you next week. Thank you.